Hey, what is up everyone? Today we finally take a look at the Mooer GE200 amp modeler and multi-effects pedal. First of all, please excuse my raspy voice. I haven't been sick all winter. It always happens in February, I don't know why. Anyways, many of you have been requested to have the Mooer GE200 on the channel, and I finally managed to have one at my disposal. Let's talk a bit about the appearance of this tiny pedalboard. First of all, it's super small. I didn't expect it to be that tiny. Very, very solid. It has a nice weight to it. I think it's like 2 kilograms or something like that. It feels very expensive, I must say. The knobs feel, like nice and heavy. The switches have a good feeling. The expression pedal has a nice weight, and this brushed metal casing looks very, very exquisite. We've got a pretty large screen, I must say, for that size, and it's really good. As you can see, you have these tiny buttons here, and what they do, they allow you to switch around between the different blocks in your signal chain. For instance, effects, compressor, distortion, overdrive, amp, and so on. It kind of reminds me of the Line 6 Pod X3 Pro, which I had. This also had this kind of navigation, and I think it is very, very practical and the fastest way to create sounds, in my opinion. This is the master volume for your 1/4 inch out, and this is your main navigation dial by turning and pushing. Then we have 3 foot switches. These two are to navigate between your presets, or when you push both, you have the tuner. This one is your assignment switch. So with this one, you can, within a preset, turn off or on effects. If you push these two, you're in the looper, which works very nicely. I've tried it and it's really fun. I think it's up to 52 seconds of loop sound. Last but not least, let's talk about the ins and outputs which this unit has. So let's start here. You've got obviously the power, then the USB connection to connect it to your computer, a mini jack headphone output, and not a 1/4 inch headphone output, which I think is pretty cool because I think most of us have regular headphones and don't necessarily have an adapter for the 1/4 inch output at home. So that's really nice. You could argue that it's more professional to have a 1/4 inch headphone output, but I mean, this little thing, it's supposed to be usable on the go. Then you have the right and left 1/4 inch out, your guitar input obviously, and you can even hook up a second expression pedal to this. And last but not least, you have an auxiliary input. Let's quickly talk about the 1/4 inch out. Now, what I think is very surprising and absolutely amazing to have is that you can choose whether you have the cap simulation on or off on the individual outs. So you can actually choose to have your left out with cap and, let's say in a live situation, send that to the PA directly, and your right out without cap simulation, send that signal into your power amp and your cabinet. So you still have, your standard feeling of having the cab behind you and use that as monitoring, but still have the direct sound over the PA, and you don't have to worry about the technician about screwing up your sound. All my respect to Mooer to offer this feature. Okay, now so before we actually start talking about how the unit sounds, I just want to show you a couple of presets that I really like. They're not the stock presets. They're based on stock presets. So I kept the name of those and played around with it. I also made use of one of the coolest features of the Mooer GE200, which is loading in your own cap impulses. Putain, Missy! Wo ist das los hin? Yeah, Lunisch vergiss, wo ich drüber. Now, my iMac has Yosemite 10.10 on it, and I don't want to upgrade. However, the software for the Mooer GE200 is only available for High Sierra, which is the latest Mac version. Yeah, so that was the problem at first. However, just a few days ago, I've got myself a MacBook Air, a really old one, but it has High Sierra on it, and I was able to load in a cabinet simulation by God's Cab by Wilkinson Audio, which is for free, to get a better feel of the amp simulations when you have, a cab simulation that you're used to. Yeah, I think without further ado, let me show you a couple of sounds that I got with the Mooer GE200. Okay, now let's talk about the pros and cons of the Mooer GE200. Oh, and by the way, it comes with a pin which says GE200 amp modeling and multi-effects Mooer. Why would you even bother? Anyways, so what do I like about this? First of all, that it is so small, so compact, and you can literally take it everywhere, almost in your pocket. Not quite, but in your backpack for sure. I like that it is so solid and it feels really expensive. Then of course, the amp simulations are amazing on this. There's a lot of choice of amps and cabs and effects, and if that's not enough, you can still load in your own cab impulses. Having the possibility to configure whether you want a cab sim or not on your left and right quarter-inch out is amazing. I was blown away by that feature because it opens so many possibilities. Like the example I gave you with the live situation. Last but not least, I think the way you can navigate through this and create your sounds is very, very well made, intuitive and self-explanatory. I didn't need a manual to figure out how all the knobs work, and I think that shows that the product is really well designed. What I'm not liking about this is, now I may sound like a hypocrite when I say this, but I don't like the fact that you only have one assignment switch. I know it's very small and very compact and only has, limited space to put foot switches on it. However, just having one assignment switch is kind of limiting. I think I would be already happy with two. As I said, it's so small and there's no way you could put another foot switch on it, but okay. The effects. I don't like most of the effects. The amp sims are good, the cab sims are good, however the effects just are not up to that. Later on we're going to sit down and create a preset, and I'm going to show you that effects like the picture are absolutely unusable because they just don't work. Coming back to that assignment switch, I would probably get on with only having one, but only if there was a seamless transition when turning on and off the effects. You will hear that later on. If you turn on the effects, not changing the preset, just turning on and off the effects blocks, there is like a little pause, just like you would change the preset. And this is absolutely no-go for me. Absolutely no-go. And the effects, they don't ring out, you know? There's no ringing out of the reverb or delay if you turn off the effects. Come on. I mean, the Pod HD series could do that already. That is kind of a bummer for me, because especially in a live situation where I want the reverb to ring out, because, you know, otherwise what's the point in having this assignment switch when it makes that little pause in between the switches? You know, you could just switch the preset then. Last but not least, I want to talk about the recording. I had some trouble with recording this via USB because, first of all, there was some clipping at first when I realized that you have to lower the preset volume, it's called. You have to lower the preset volume, otherwise you will get a clipping signal in your DAW. The second thing is I do have quite some latency with this. I don't know why. I don't know if it's this unit in particular. I don't have any problems with other units such as my Line 6 Pod GE200, the Line 6 Helix I had, or my Zoom microphone, which is also USB connectable. I don't have any problems with that recording at 32 samples of latency. This has definitely more latency than that, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest. I don't know how I could fix that. So for the last part of this video, I want to sit down and create a preset, a metal preset, together with you guys. So let's do that now. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this, shall we? Right now I have an empty preset, and I'm going to show you how you can build your preset. So let's choose an amp. I really like the EV5050 DS. Okay, of course there is no cap on there yet, so let's do that. It sounds already super nice if you ask me. So let's play out with the tubes. Off tube. I really like the 6v6. And now the microphones. Honestly, tell me if you can hear a difference in attack, in feeling of these. They are all 100% identical. They just have like slight EQ shapes, so they are not really microphone simulations, unfortunately. But never mind, it sounds good already. Let's change the distance. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's go to the amp. What could we adjust here? Wow, this is already so aggressive, I wouldn't even put an overdrive in front of this. Let's give it some more presence. Yeah. Okay, let's put a noise gate in front of that. Noise gate. I think it works pretty well. Now, as I'm playing right now, I have quite some latency. It's playable, but still noticeable, and it's not so nice, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know what the issue is. Okay, so let's try our own cab sim that we have put in here. It should be here somewhere. There it is. So obviously you can't choose any microphone or anything like that. This sounds amazing if you ask me. If you go to play, you're back at your preset. Let's see where our noise gate is. We click chain, and as you can see, it's behind the cab, and I don't want that. I want it to be in front of the amp, like that. Now it works better already. Nice, nice, nice. I love that. So, play. Let's say we want to assign to this switch some reverb and delay. You go to Control and tap, and then you choose Control, and we want delay and reverb. Okay, and as you can see, delay and reverb are switching on and off. So let's go to delay. Let's choose the tape. I really like that one. Reverb. I'm not a big fan of the reverbs, I must say, but they do their job. Perfect. Let's say you are playing on the lead. There is no fade out of the effect, which is very, very sad. And did you hear that little pause when I turned on the effects, which is something that shouldn't be there in my opinion, because, I don't know, even the Pod series didn't have that problem. Yeah, so I really like that sound. This is very good. Let me show you the pitcher, which is absolutely bullshit. Let's say I want to pitch 12 semitones, which should be the octave. This is not an octave. This is something like not quite an octave. Unusable. Absolutely unusable. Chorus. Yeah, so much for that. I think, you know, how you can navigate through this is absolutely fantastically made. And it's so easy, it's self-explanatory. For tuner, you just press these two buttons. For the looper, you press these two. If you exit there. And there you have the looper, which works very nicely. I tried it. I want to show you how you can set up your presets. Let's go back to the preset. To have one output with cab and one without cab. You go System, Cab Sim Through, and then you can choose whether you want to have the cab on or off on your left or right output. So amazing. Let's click save, and there we go. I'm really enjoying this preset though. yeah, back to the studio. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video today. To sum it up, I really like it. However, there are like these little things, for example the pause when engaging the assignment switch and the latency when recording, which for me personally don't make it an upgrade to my Pod HD500. However, at this point I wouldn't say go ahead and find a used HD500. I think I would say get one of these, because first of all, they cost as much as a used HD500, new with warranty. They're even more practical. The sounds themselves that you can create, the metal sounds that you will get, are way better than on the HD series in my opinion. And with that 1/4 inch out with the cap on and off, you have even more possibilities. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, and I'll see you next time.